In a major landmark decision, an Oklahoma judge ordered pharmaceutical giant Johnson & Johnson to pay more than $500 million for its role in the state's opioid crisis. This is the first case to go to trial, accusing the opioid drug maker of being responsible for the consequences of the crisis. The judge ruled that Johnson & Johnson and affiliated companies created an imminent danger to the state of Oklahoma, creating a public health crisis, aggressively targeting powerful painkillers while downplaying the risk. Here's more about what the judge had to say about his decision.
The opioid crisis is an imminent danger and menace to Oklahomans. My judgment includes findings of fact and conclusions of law that the state met its burden, that the defendants, Janssen and Johnson & Johnson's misleading marketing and promotion of opioids created a nuisance, that those actions compromised the health and safety of thousands of Oklahomans. Specifically, defendants caused an opioid crisis that is evidenced by increased rates of addiction, overdose deaths, and neonatal abstinence syndrome in Oklahoma. This is a temporary public nuisance.
Oklahoma had asked for $17 billion to help fight the epidemic. The judge awarded $572 million, saying it would be up to the legislature to get additional funding. Prosecutors praising the award after the judge's decision. Take a listen.
Johnson & Johnson will finally be held accountable for thousands of deaths and addiction caused by their activities.
So there's no question in my mind that these companies knew what was going on at the highest level. They just couldn't quit making money from it, and that's why they're responsible.
But the case is not just about Oklahoma. There are nearly 2,000 pending lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies and distributors. Legal scholars are comparing the Oklahoma trial to the case against Big Tobacco in the 90s, when 46 attorneys generals settled with the biggest cigarette companies. Austin Box, a former Oklahoma Sooners football star, died from an opioid overdose in 2011 at the age of 22. His family says they hope to use his death to bring awareness to the crisis that has killed some 6,000 Oklahomans since 2000.
Fortunately, Austin was living a nightmare, the nightmare of prescription drug abuse, prescription opioids to be exact.
Incredibly sad. This litigation is now being watched by other states and their attorneys. As for Johnson & Johnson, they're asking that this amount of money be put on hold as they now go forward with an appeal.